Hey, good people, how are you doing? Hope you're keeping safe, you're keeping well, you're washing your hands, you're sanitizing, you are keeping distance because we want to meet all of us alive after this pandemic. So, yes, I've been lost for some time because Jill was here with you, and I also have good news. Jill had her baby, I think 4 days ago, and the baby is healthy, she's healthy. Hopefully we're going to meet her again here for more stories about motherhood, and we thank God that both of them are doing well. So yes, today I thought this topic would be very important because it's so alive with us. The discussion about employment, unemployment, business, financial stability or capability. Like, this is a time where there's so many people, like the country alone or the world is struggling economically, and this goes down to households and to individuals because there's a lot of issues. Being that the economy is down, the pandemic is here with us. So many people were laid off. So many people lost their jobs. So many people are not doing well in business or even closed business because nothing is doing well. I'm just here to encourage all of us or anybody who's going through such tough times. First of all, I want to say that nobody really is not feeling the heat. I know it's like a wide thing. So everyone else is feeling the heat differently. But I also know that at the same time, there are people who are feeling the heat so much. There are people who lost their jobs, the businesses were closed, they do not have ways of putting something on the table. So that is why I'm here also to share my story because I also at one point had no job, I had no business going on. Let me say I resigned. So this is the story. In 2017 around May, June, I resigned from my job. By then, I was working for a local TV station as a news anchor, reporter, what have you. So the reason I resigned is my mom was not well, and she needed someone to accompany her to India for further treatment. So I thought I will do that. Like, I decided, let me do this for my mom. You know, anything and everything for your mama, right? Yeah. So I decided to take the chance to at least accompany her for treatment. And I remember I had a very short time to make that decision. Because mom was diagnosed, for those who do not know, my mom passed on in 2018 April after battling CA, esophageal cancer, or some people just call it throat cancer. So yes, she was diagnosed with cancer stage 2 in around April, May of 2017. So I remember I was working, I was in the office, and I got a call. Okay, I got a call, I received the news. Then after that, now we didn't know now what way forward, like what was the treatment, where, when. So I remember after a week or two, I was called and I was told that the decision had been made and mom was to go to India for further treatment. So when she called, I asked her, who is taking you to India? And she said, because I have other older siblings, brothers and sisters, a brother and sisters, and at that time I think most of them were committed. Like, some had small babies, some had jobs that were very rigid. So I thought to myself, so that I think my mom told me, like, the option that they're having by then was that my baby sister was to accompany her. Then I looked at times, I weighed going into a foreign country. My younger sister was then 20 something, thereabout. So I think I just took a few minutes, made a decision, and said I was the one to accompany mom to India. So I called her and told her, I'm the one coming to take you to India. I remember when my baby was 3 months. 3 years, sorry, 3 years. So I said I'll just get away of settling every other thing, then I'll accompany her. Then within that 10 minutes or 5 minutes of that call, I made a decision that I was resigning from my then job. The reason I was resigning was I didn't even have time to think. I didn't have time to give office to, like, give me time or write whatever. So when I informed the HR and they were still weighing options, that was really taking so much of my time. And I didn't know the duration I was to be in India. I did not have any travel documents by then. I did not have anything. So it meant that I was supposed to leave the office the very day I got that information, and I was supposed to travel to Kisumu the very day I got that information so that I could start processing my documents. So I remember they tried to end, nothing was working. So I made that decision and I resigned from uh, that particular job. So by then, the only issue that was at hand was we wanted mom to be well. Like I wanted to take that opportunity, walk her through this journey. After that, I would then come back and think about my life, think about what I was going to do. It did not hit me, by the way, that I did not have a job and what, because what at that point was even confusing me was my mom's condition. So yes, everything else, we went to India. We took 3 months in India, then came back in September of 2017. I think that is when it hit me that I had nothing to come back to. It hit me that I had taken my baby somewhere else. It hit me that I'd given out like almost everything I had, like the household stuff. It hit me that I didn't have anywhere to stay except if I was going back home, or if I was moving in with my baby daddy, or like I didn't have a place of my own. The only thing I had of my own by then was my baby, whom I came back and now I took in. So I remember that is when the confusion started. And it really hit me so hard that I had nothing. So I tried applying for jobs. Nothing, not even regret emails were coming back. And I remember it was in September, and I only had a few months to January of 2018 when my baby was supposed to start school. And that foundation was very important and I could not gamble with it. Before, I don't think I had involved myself so much in business. I do not think so. So I didn't even know where to start, where is the capital, and what I was to do from then. So I remember I went to Mombasa to live with a friend as I tried really to reconstruct my life, like think about how I would start afresh. So I went there, started some small business. It worked for a few months, October, November, December. Then I really knew I could not survive there without a permanent job. I could not continue living with a friend for more than those 3 months, and I had a baby. And I was also, after those 3 months, I really realized that I could not have my baby start school when I was not having a permanent job or something to get me going. So I decided, let me come back to Nairobi. So my point here is, when you do not have a job and you are an adult, life becomes so tough and you cannot even make decisions. But with time, I think it's been from 2017, I've never been employed, like 2017, 2018, 2019, and we are in 2020. And believe you me, life has gotten better and easier. I think I just decided like this was now my life, and I really had to take charge and do something else and do something with my life. Because I remember now when I came back to Nairobi in January, and now my baby started school, I realized life was different and life had to move on, and I really had to move on with life. Then again in 2018, just before I could settle down and have something to do and just move on with my life, I remember my mom passed. We come back in September. She was well for 3 months. Then the cancer came back at stage 4 in January. And again, we started some local treatments, but she passed on in April. Now that was the toughest. That, I remember, I can say 2018 was my worst year. Because when she passed, initially, before, I could always call and say, Mom, now what do I do? I do not have a job. And sometimes she felt guilty. Sometimes she talked as if now it's hard. It's because of her that I resigned. But I told her life has to continue. And I'm just trying to weigh things. If I can get a place so that Keisha starts school. And then the rest of the things I'll settle later. So when she passed, I remember 2018, I had the worst year. I almost went into depression because I did not have a job. I did not have anything. like things were not working. But when I got up, I have never gone back to depression. I feel stressed sometimes, some memories are back with me, but I've never gone back to that place. I decided, let me go out and do something for myself. I've been doing businesses. I do quite a lot of businesses, the small businesses, and I've realized that in Nairobi there's so many opportunities. They're not the huge opportunities that everybody would want to say, I'm comfortable here, this is what I am doing. But I realized there's so many things that you can actually buy and resell within the city or even outside. And one thing that has also helped me through this journey is the social media. I think I do like 90 to 100% of my marketing on social media. And I can say that I've reaped a lot. I sell so many things. And I'm a jack of all trades. That is what my friends call me. And sometimes people ask me even weirdest of products where they can get. But I actually think that my resignation and losing my job really was a great opportunity for me. I discovered so many things. I've known so many places where you can buy stuff cheaply and resell them. I've known so many places where you can be able to buy things in wholesale and then be able to resell. So I am at a better place, far much better. I don't even think when I was employed, I really achieved a lot. This year has been a little bit slow, but still people buy things. So I don't do not sit down and say now, as for me, I do not have this, the end of life. No, 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 no. If you know easily, most curtains, the new curtains, the fancy ones come from there. You can go there, buy your curtains, do social media marketing, sell for to people, like their shoes in Italy, the bags in Italy. There's so many things that people buy from there, come and they sell. The dresses, the new dresses is from new dresses from China, Turkey. There's so many things. I think it also depends with what is your passion, because really you cannot just do business because you can be able to do it, because in the long run you'll be frustrated. But if you choose the line that you love, if you love fashion, if you love interior design, if you love shoes, like I think you can be able to do so much. If you love stuff with kitchenware, you can go to Kamkunji. If you know where Kamkunji is, one day I'll be able maybe to do a live day while hustling. Like you pick those stuff, and you, if you know how to choose the best, you'll definitely get clients coming back. And people, I have friends, I have perfect friends. My friends are so good. I think when people complain that friends do not support their hustles, I thank God that if it were not for my friends and families who buy from, and family members who buy from me, then most probably this business will not have reached this far. So, and something else, you do not need to limit yourself, because if you know you can get the best at a good price and sell, why not? Like, who said that if I'm selling clothes, I cannot be able to sell shoes? So choose your hustle. Go out there and hustle. And by the way, I don't think I ever sat down and said, now I need 100,000 as my capital. It starts small. It starts like somebody calls and say, says I need 5 printed t-shirts, but they are print t-shirts. 5 printed t-shirts, and I will definitely go. I know where I'll buy those t-shirts. I know where I'll print those t-shirts, and they are the best. One day I'll be able to show. And if you are on Facebook, you can follow my page, She Bear Pala, also on IG. That is where I sell most of my stuff. And apart from that, I do a lot of marketing on my WhatsApp status, and I've really been able to achieve so much. So what I was okay, the point is, sometimes it is overwhelming, especially when you're fired, especially when you resign. Like when you lose a job when you had not planned, it becomes so tough. But it doesn't mean that you just have to sit down there and wait for a formal employment. What I've realized is nowadays you can be able to employ yourself, organize your stuff well, learn more about social media marketing, know your friends, tell them what to do, and don't be afraid of your hustle. Like, tell people what you do. Introduce yourself and say, this is Simfros, and I sell shoes, and I sell home decor, and I print t-shirts, and I print hoodies. Like, let people know what you do. One person will not buy from you, the second person might not buy, the third person will buy, and that third person will be able to give referrals, and your business will be booming. So do not sit there and say this is the end of life. Like, life does not end until it ends. So when one door closes, believe you me, you'll just take some time, get over it, but take the next step. Wake up, ask people, talk to people, ask people where I think sometimes people just assume that maybe she will not tell me where she buys things, she will not. But if you approach someone, if you come and ask, says, what do you do, how do you do this, how do you get, I think I'll be so free to be able to tell you, because the market is so big. Like, we live in a world where you can sell to anyone anywhere. So it doesn't matter, even if you are 10 people selling t-shirts, even if you are 20 people selling the same clothes from easily or from where, your clients are your clients. So I don't think if you approach somebody and ask them about how they go about things, they will really deny you a chance or just refuse to tell you where they buy the stuff and how they do it. So yes, it's never that serious. Get yourself up and do what you got to do, because life has to continue. Kids have to feed and everything else. Otherwise, that is all I had for today. Thank you so much for being here. By the way, I just uninstalled my artificial dreadlocks. I had them for 3 weeks. Not 3 weeks, I mean 3 months. And yeah, I think the results are okay. Thank you so much for watching. See you in our next video. Kindly don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that anytime we post a video, you will be notified. We post one video every single week.